Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a surprise live. I'm so happy that you were able to join me. I am Ken, your thrifty apprentice, and I have quite a few things planned for you tonight. So we are going to go ahead and just kick this thing off. Now, we are doing this live to make up for the one missed on our scheduled Monday. And that was actually going to be a live that was centered around painting a World Watercolor Month prompt, which was Serenity. And I'll go ahead and let you know, for me, um, the most serene that there can be is when I'm just kind of out in nature by myself. I actually love going to the lake. Now, of course, since I'm a city boy, lakes typically typically be parks, national parks, things of that nature. But when I get to go visit my family, I get to go to um, the country area, and I love to just be out in the actual wilderness. It's especially as a painter. There's something about being out in nature, observing things one on one, up close, getting the touch, getting the feel. Not only does it help you grow as far as your eye is concerned, but I think it also helps your painting style develop. So, with that said, that was what I was going to center that painting around. So, I thought that I would play off of that for tonight's live. And we are going to be painting a little mini outdoor scene. It's gonna be real straightforward, friends. You're gonna be able to follow it, hopefully. And I've never done this one before. This is one that I sketched out just for tonight, and I do have a traceable for it. I will try to make it available on Patreon. I do know I still need to make the result post from this past Monday's Patreon. I apologize about that, but like I said, things have just been a little hectic and got away from me. So we're going to go ahead and start this part because I want the sky area to dry. I hadn't decided on exactly what paints I was going to use. I could always grab my Bamboo Voyager palette. Hey Kim, how are you tonight? Welcome in. Welcome in. I am so glad that you all are here. I am. So let's do this real quick. Because I'm just going to wing it and paint with some things I've never painted with before. So let's unbox something real quick. This is the Shapiro Farben watercolor pad. I'm sorry, this is, well, we're on top, it's the Shapiro Farben watercolor pad, cold press, acid free. It's 140 pounds, 5 by 9, ideal for watercolor techniques. This is in combination with the set. Let's go ahead and get this open so that if there's any light reflecting in that plastic, we can get rid of that. If I can get in it. Yeah. Alright, so not going to be testing that paper tonight, but I will in the near dear future in order to do a review. It looks like that is on a block. That's pretty cool. Does it say 100% cotton? It does not. So I do think it is a wood pulp paper, but what have we here? 48 paints, Shapiro Farben, watercolors premium, 2 watercolor pen brushes, 7.5 milliliter gouache tube. Interesting. Half pans, non-toxic. Now, this is a watercolor set. It said 7.5 milliliter gouache tubes. One or two things. It's either a misprint or the translation, because I know gouache is more of a universal term in Asian countries. So we'll see, we'll see. Flipping it over on the back, a set of 48 vivid, non-toxic, half-size pan watercolors by Shapiro Farben. These pigmented paints are premium quality, fully reusable when dried on a palette. For best results, ensure paint is fully dried before closing. Designed in the USA, made in China, conforms to the ASTM D4236 regulation. And there you have it. That is what's on the box. Let's crack this baby open. Where did the palette? Because I might need this to help. I'm just not the best. There we go. Alright. Oh, you didn't know you was gonna get a live unboxing, did you? Oh, I told you. I'm gonna just be springing things on you tonight. Let's see if I can get in this box while I'm talking all this noise. It's a pretty wide palette. It's pretty thick. It's huge. Jeez. All right. Shapiro Farthing. This is a plastic palette. This one, unlike the Viva Art palette, this one has a ring on the bottom. But you know, honestly, I would never be out painting with this huge palette. I'm sorry. It would only be studio use for me. Popping it open, on the inside there is, I thank you for purchasing the set. I hope the color palette will inspire you. I hope the Shapiro Farben color palette will inspire you to create color and captivate your imagination. You can find Shapiro Farben's swatch card inside the watercolor set. And I added a 20 sheet pad of watercolor paper to get you going and become familiar with the endless mixing colors options you can make. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and hashtag Shapiro Farben so I can see your artwork. Don't forget to leave a review on my Amazon page. Your opinion matters to me. Yeah, and then there's a QR code for 15% off my next purchase. Okay, gonna rock with it. Let's see if we're gonna be using that coupon. So we got a swatch card here, which is already labeled with stock numbers and color names. And I'm assuming this is the way that they're gonna be laid out on the palette. Let's see. Okay, right off, very reminiscent of that core pocket set that was super popular a couple years ago, just a larger version. I mean, exactly like it. So that palette is gonna, that mixing tray is gonna be able to move to any part of the palette and secure itself down, so that you can set up mixing. So that's actually pretty cool. What else do we have here? 48 half pans. These are in modules, just like the Viva Art was. Now the Koi pocket set is not in modules like this. These modules remove, and each of the half pans will remove from the module. And I'm more than sure we could wiggle that loose because that's probably glued down. That's definitely a machine cut pan. But I actually like these little module sets like this. You're gonna get a sponge included, and there looks to be 2 water brushes, which do come apart. Pretty nice quality, actually, really thick. Has a push mechanism, so you won't have a continuous feed of water. Interesting, we will have to test that out. Large is written on the cap, indicating the size of the brush. Okay, those are nylon, of course. I'm gonna take these out of here. Yeah, cool. And then there is, oh, okay. There's a tube of titanium white. So which white is this? Let's see. So there's a regular white. There's a color they're calling buff. Ooh, okay. And then there is a titanium white in the tube. Okay. Why do I feel like I just swatched and tested these paints? Just from the look of them right off, you know. But whatever, I'm not gonna swatch them. We're gonna dive right in and paint with them. I'm gonna paint with them hopefully by sight. Hopefully by sight. I might just swatch those out. I'm not gonna do it though. It's gonna take up too much time. I wanna go ahead and get that sky painted. So what I'll do is I'll just use a piece of this paper to test color as I go if I need to. Should I use a water brush? I think I probably should. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. They both say, no, this one says small. Okay, maybe I better use the large one. I'm gonna check comments in just a second, friends. I am coming. If you have any questions for me at all, please do not hesitate to post them in the chat. I'm going to get to them in just a moment. I'm just filling this water brush. Oh, okay. Of course, I overfilled it because I always do. That's okay. We're going to make this work. So, is there a color they're calling ultramarine? I just want to see if I can eye it. It's going to be third and second row from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's deep. At least it doesn't look like it's got white in it right off. It definitely looked like it might have, excuse me, some type of booster or a dye in it, but we'll know in just a second. I'm gonna clean whatever sizing is in that brush out. Okay, friends, I apologize about that. That was a onset attack. For those of you who do not know, do not let this scare you. I have quite a condition with allergies. And sometimes they just decide when they're going to kick in. And it's so funny because I took some medication before starting this live, trying to prevent it from happening. In all honesty, it is the only hesitation I have about doing live. So let's test this. And as soon as I get this sky painted, let's see, how does that work? You press the button. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Okay. Let's put a little drop of water on there. Okay, it's definitely what I think of as processed ultramarine when I see it. I'm not sure if it's a pigment. Of course, there's no pigment information provided. All right. Let's see. What else is there? There is a. They're calling that cerulean. Mermaid green. Seriously. Um, this just pink. Really? I can't help it. I have to. Let's get that activated. It's a little gummy, just a little bit, sort of thick, even though there's quite a bit of water there. All right, I'm going to use those two colors. Let's see. Now, I'm going to paint right over the tree that I have here. See if I can get some water on this paper. My tape really isn't sticking, so I probably won't get that little thin, clean edge I'm trying to get. The brush release okay when you press the button. It's not terrible. It's probably going to end up with rough edges, but we're not going to really worry about that. I want to see if I can keep it soft if possible, which is why I'm trying to make sure that my background is wet. Can't really tell if that's even, even sheen on that, but we're going to go with it. And put that color across the top. Get that a little bit stronger. And see if we can work that down. Let's grab a little of that dust pink and work it in to a few places, and then finish that on up. down to the horizon line. I like that there's pink in there. That's cute. It should dry really nicely. Okay, this is taking on its own form already. Maybe just a little, just a smidget darker across the top. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna call that good. We'll let that dry. And I needed to get that started. Now I'll jump in the comments section and check you guys out. See what you got going on, what you're talking about. All right. So again, if you are new here, welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. If you're joining and you've been here before, welcome back. I'm happy to have you here, of course, my friends. Um, I think this is pretty much going to be, I probably, without a doubt, to go ahead and offer a review on this paint right here, right now. But I'm not going to. I'm going to give it the same respect that I give every other paint set. Um, I'm just curious. They're bright. They're definitely saturated. So, and they don't seem grainy. That's a good thing. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. My friends, wait a minute. You joking me? No way. I refuse to believe it. Hold on. There's no way they're all that way. Hmm. Okay. So I will pull my foot out of my mouth because I take that initial comment back. I don't think I could give a review on these right away. I wasn't expecting that type of color payoff on these paints. And for it not to be grainy, it's so pretty. That's crazy. Okay. Hey View, how you doing? Oh, so you use a Shapiro farming? Okay, cause see, yeah, uh huh, they're pretty. They are. Um, now I'm not sure. Let's try these. Let's move this block down here. I'm gonna try all three of these colors in a row before I say what I'm about to say. What do you got going on? Hey, what paint is this? This is the, hello Elizabeth, welcome in. This is the Shapiro Farman 48 half pan watercolor set. And this is my first time cracking it open and kind of giving it a look-see. I'm actually using it to paint today's little paint along. Um, and I am trying them for the very first time right here with you guys. Now, it would seem that View has already tried them and she thinks that they are nice, especially for mixing. Which, in all honesty, right off, I can see, I can see why. I really can. I'm a little surprised. Initially, when I looked at them, I thought, and right now I'm really just kind of playing. I'm really just swatching different colors here and there just to see if I can see any graininess, and I can't. I really can't. And see, I'm looking for the indication of fillers. I don't know if that's graininess. Okay. Yeah, these are not what I thought they were going to be. I think I might enjoy painting with these paints. I really think I might enjoy painting with these paints. As a matter of fact, let's see, what color was that? That was this one. And I don't know, do it just a touch of ultramarine until I get that to die down on that brightness just a little bit. Let's see. I have to hold my painting at an angle here so I can see what I was doing. Drop some water in there. Don't want it to be too harsh. Too harsh. Yeah, my edges are not gonna be clean, but whatever. Now I'm not gonna do too much mixing right off because there are a lot of colors here. So you don't necessarily have to mix, even if it is a decent mixing palette. You don't necessarily have to mix because you do get quite a range of colors here, which is cool because I'm thinking to myself, how would this work? Would these work for beginners? You know, like, is this a set that I could possibly recommend? Well, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Let me mix that a little stronger this time, adding some ultramarine to it. I'm gonna add ultramarine as my mixer for most of my colors, just so I can keep some unification. I don't really need to do that too much right now, because this is gonna shift a little bit because it's wet, I'm sure. All right, give it a second to dry as well. Uh, the reds look, I think they may mean really similar, really similar, yeah. Um, hmm, well, that one is a little bit more rosy. Maybe it's the camera. Those two, I will give you, do look a bit similar to each other. As far as the more magenta leaning rose cut reds, that one is a little lighter. It'll be interesting to see what they look like and how they contrast in color as you actually build layer. So you know, that's why I always do that 3 layer swatch sheet just so they don't really fool me as far as whether they're samey. So I'm definitely gonna get. Oop, let me not stick my finger in that. To doing it. So now, while we're waiting on that to dry, we can actually move on to talking about a few other things. I am so happy to continue um, to be continuously blessed to be with you guys. Hey, I don't think we understand with whatever you may or may not believe how much it is within the power of the all highest, whoever that is for you, however that is for you, whether it's given by a spiritual being or you cater to the universe. There's no judgy here. But however that is for you, we are all truly blessed because I saw some things going on earlier today with some people who have lost way more, than I feel like anybody should, and it's just such an unfortunate situation. And I get to get off work and come home and paint, and it's humbling. It's humbling experience. So I just want to try to keep that tape down as much as I can around that. What else in this comment section? Hey, but we can see them colors. They dyes for sure. Goopy. Um, actually, they didn't paint out too goopy. It is definitely, um, I think it's more of a dye formula though. Seriously, but they're not bad. You know, I don't think that necessarily being dyes is bad, but they definitely have some dyes in them. Hey, put me see them. Hello, Penny. How are you? It is good to have you here, my dear. Okay. Um. So, what I want to do, I want to show you some things that have come into the studio. Oh my God. We're gonna have some popping off the rest of this year. Excuse me. So, excuse me. Going into the new year. So let's look. Now, of course, we did the Massive Art Hall. Was it done live? That may have been done live. It may have been done live. If not, I mean, either way, live or pre-recorded, you can go back and catch it. Here are a few other additional things. So, I'm, I, and I think I'm trying to get around to going ahead and testing and reviewing a lot of, especially the newer budget sets, because what I'm starting to discover, especially like for some of the colored pencil sets I have here that I haven't reviewed and I need to get around to doing, I've kind of gone to check places like Amazon and Jerry's and Blick. Um, and what I'm starting to discover is that some of those budget sets and budget companies, especially if they're year more older, those sets aren't available anymore. I can't even find any remnants of the company having any other product online. So some of them may have gone out of business. And that's kind of one of the risks you run when you're buying budget supplies. So I definitely want to kind of touch on a lot of these really quickly, leading out through the rest of the year. So anyway, this one, I'm going to actually pull the bubble wrap off of it because it's a wrap. This is Woomer. It is so, look, the kitty on the front is so cute. If the palette is worth nothing at all, the kitty all by itself is enough for me. And it's on the box. It's not even on, I don't even think it's on the palette. Just for the box. That's crazy. Look at that. Beautiful little kitty. And it is a 36 color set. And look at there. You have stock numbers, color names, pigment number, transparency, ratings, a light fast scale, and a transparency scale. Interesting. Where are these made? These are made in China. Hmm. Superior Semi Art. I'm just thinking of the student grade companies that I know provide that information. I know Superior does, and I know Semi Art does, and it comes with watercolor paper. Let's see how many of them are there. It doesn't say. But yeah, cool. We will get around to trying that. Also, there is Artbeck. This is cold pressed, 100% cotton watercolor block. Interesting size at 3 by 9, 3.9 by 9.8. It is 140 pounds. So ideal for watercolor gouache, acrylic washes, and ink. So we'll be getting around to, I love the that size. That's perfect for like landscapes. Real cool. And one other thing that I'll show you before we jump back to working on our demo. Let's see. There is, who is this? Does it say? It's heavy. I know that. 48 watercolor paint box. 48 solid watercolors, premium metallic watercolors, non-toxic for all ages. So there's 20 watercolor papers, one paintbrush, two watercolor brush pens included as well. So this is definitely targeted towards a beginner because it's like the complete beginner kit for watercolor painting. And it says it's a 10 box, which is okay. Made in China, so it may be some paints I've tried before. We will see. Now let's check on our painting. I'm definitely gonna put some darker green colors in there. Let me get the water and then we will get our big tree in the front if I can still see it. Have to keep pressing that tape down. Well, maybe not around the top anymore because I'm not gonna be really doing much else up there. Let's do the water right quick. And we'll get some color in the foreground, some greens in the foreground. Where's the palette? Here we go. And I'll get my little tester sheet just in case. And we had a water brush we were painting with. Alright, let's go with adding ultramarine to that blue. I need that a little darker. And where is, okay, where's the color chart? What position do we have? Either a burnt sienna or, okay, so we have an umber, a burnt sienna. Okay, so umber, that almost looks black. That should be a nice deep brown, then chocolate all up. Let's try it out. It's not goopy though. Okay, that's weaker than I was expecting from the darkness of that palette though. Let's see. Okay, it just needed to activate. So that definitely would be a set I would probably pre-spray. That's beautiful. Um, that's gorgeous. That room. Oh, look at the olive it made. Oh my goodness. Okay. Um. Yeah. I don't know if this is dye. I'm gonna be honest. That color mixing is too clean. That's crazy. And they keep their saturation. It's not muddying up it. Oh my goodness. It's not muddying up at all. That is a beautiful olive green. All right, Shapiro Farmer. Yeah. Okay, I'm a little fascinated. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little fascinated because it's been a minute. You know, this is what my channel was kind of started for. Targeting those really economical products that could be used by either a beginner, someone in the intermediate realm, or even an advanced painter who was using for practice, needed an on-the-go set, something they can throw in their bag and travel with. And I'll be honest, when I first opened this palette, just based on the way the paints looked in the pan, I was a little off put. I kind of had doubt right away. However, there's not one single paint that I have swatched. Even after these are dry. Where's the shift? Like, where's the color shift? I don't. What kind of witchy poo is this? What's going on here? This is hocus pocus. Okay, let's get this cracking. What was I using? I don't want to use too much. I use way too much of that brown. I think this was the green I was originally using. Yes, it is. Okay. And I was mixing in. There is now, okay, now some of the colors, because you didn't know I'm completely transparent. Now that did seem to grit until you mixed it out. That one did seem to grit a little bit just then until I mixed it out. Now after I mixed it out, it doesn't, it's flat. So something I would pre-wet, definitely. Something I would mix out on the palette just to be on the safe side. But man, the mixing ability of these paints is insane. Yeah, I'm so mad at how pretty it is. Okay, let me control this. This is a strong color. See, and I'm dry brushing that on. Just kind of let it dance across the landscape. It's a pretty color, and it's shadowing without. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It's not overpowering anything. I love the way the greens are blending. Okay, I'm gonna leave that that way. It's gonna actually be really cute once we get the tree in. Once we actually get the tree in, then we can finish up the foreground. Decide where we're gonna put our little bushes, our little grasses. Maybe we throw a rock or two in there. You know, make it kind of cute. Let's mix out this blue over here that we were using for the sky. We're going to continue that in the water, and we were using ultramarine. And I don't know. We're definitely going to put some of that that dust pink in the water. No doubt about that. And see, it kind of mixed to a purple there because my brush wasn't completely clean. What was it here? I don't know. Cute color. Cute color. It really is. Nice for skies, I think. Rock, ooh, it'll be pretty on rocks. Oh, I have to try a landscape with these, definitely. Still gratefulness. Okay, it was just one of the pinks that looked goofy. I admit I judged too fast. I did too. I did too. I really did. I really honestly thought like until I started. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. The paper is not bad either. That paper hadn't. That paper is not. The texture is just sized enough for the paint to float on top of the paper because it didn't like absorb in straight away. Actually, that red is still wet. So, but still clean. The colors look really, really clean on that paper. I don't know. I don't know. I just think overall, overall, this might be a really decent set of paints. I don't know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. But first impression, decent one. Okay. I know it's turned a little sideways. I'm gonna try to keep the tape down. I don't know how long it's gonna stay that way as I paint. And I'm gonna start with my darkest back against my horizon line. Okay. And I'm doing wet on dry at this moment. Now I'm actually gonna drop some water onto my paper and go up to meet it. That's gonna soften those lines and let me start to bring it down the paper to meet the foreground. Now I'm going to use this watery wash and I'm going to start to build my water. Alright, I'm saying. Let's get some stronger blue in there, definitely. Maybe keep it kind of solid back there. Keep it solid in the back like that. And then as it comes forward, kind of start getting a little ripply. Just a little bit. Let's mix some of that dust pink in. I'm gonna go in a little strong. It's probably gonna mix and make purple right away. But I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna try to add it right in. Just a little bit here or there. Simply because it will be reflecting out the sky. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in some even darker ways moving forward. La la la. Drag that in over there. And la la. Okay, I'm done being silly. Okay, I don't know. I kind of like that. We'll let it dry. We're going to see how much it shifts because I had lots of water in that. If it doesn't shift too much, we won't have too much left to do to it. If it do shift a lot, then we're going to have a little bit more to do to it. We shall see. So that's where we are so far, though. I don't know. I like it. I think it's cute. I do. I think the colors are super vibrant. And I mean, we almost have a full composition going here. Once the tree goes in the front and we get in some leaves and I don't know, Tisa gonna say before it's over with, I'm gonna throw some birds in there anyway. So I might as well go ahead and plan. Just throw some birds in the background. It is what it is. All right, so let's give that a second to dry and soften and blend. And we are going to. Did you guys see all the videos for Thrifty Giveaway Month? I know most of you did, and most of you participated. Um, Again, congratulations to all of the winners. There is one final winner announcement to be made in this upcoming Sunday's video. The very first part of that video will be dedicated to announcing the winner of week four's giveaway. It was so much fun. It was so much fun, and I learned a lot. Those books taught me a lot, and I just feel like there are so many ideas floating around in my head that I now have to make videos throughout the rest of the year based on just different things I learned that I'm excited to try. So, kind of playing off of that, I thought to myself, so what if I did grab bags? Because the thing is, I have a lot of art supplies, right? And I have a lot of art supplies that I do not use. I have a lot of art supplies that's just kind of sitting around. Um, and I don't have anything that is quote unquote bad quality because I don't actually keep those things that I don't think are, pretty good. I'll go ahead and donate those right away, and then I keep some of the better things just in case I'm making up a set to give to like a beginner art student. I typically send out little care packages, and sometimes some of the things are semi-used in them. And when I say semi-used, like they may have been swatched or just simply used for the testing phase, and then I haven't touched the paints after that. And so instead of selling them, I kind of give them away in like a little grab bag situation where a lot of different things are mixed together. And I thought to myself, what if, what if um, I kind of incorporated that into lives every now and then. Not every live, but every now and then. So, in the spirit of, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And here's the thing, the things that I throw in these little grab bags, okay, so if it's a big item, it's probably just that one thing. But if it's a lot of little items, it might be a mixture of different things. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not really looking at branding. I'm just thinking about the type of things that I want to throw in it. And it's a giveaway. It's a grab bag giveaway. So, it's kind of, it is what it is. So for the first one, so what I do is I take this little bucket that I have, or this box actually, because it's not a bucket, of all these different supplies that are either new or maybe just gone through the testing phase that I'm going to be passing on to other artists. And so I decided what I would do is go through that box to kind of carry this idea over to the lives. Um, and use things from that box to put together the little grab bags that'll be given away in the live. So here is the first one. Okay, so this is a little canvas pencil case with a nylon strip and a plastic hook. Yes, I'm going to describe it down to the T for you. There is a nylon zipper, and when I say nylon zipper, it's not the heavy track zipper. So just so you get a feel for what I'm saying, inside this little bag, oh, excuse me, I have put 3 empty water brushes, and those are 3 different sizes. There's a fine, small, and a medium, but they are travel size. There is a full pan of Karen Dodge um, lemon yellow gouache. There is a kneadable eraser. It's the green one. Let's see, or blue one. Yep. And then there are 6 watercolor pencils. There is a, oh no, not 6. Let's see, yep, 6 watercolor pencils and a drawing pencil. There's a H graphite pencil, and then there is a red, orange, blue, yellow, white, and pine green watercolor 6 pencil set. Now, if you are a person who is new to watercolor, never tried them, maybe that's a good start for you. Something to just kind of play around with to see if it's even something you want to even waste your time on. If you use them on a regular basis, then you know you can use those to draw your sketches so that you will have your lines disappear in your paintings if you're not one who likes to see graphite in your painting. So, and I do suggest that and even if you know, outside the grab bag, if you happen to have bought a set of watercolor pencils and you didn't like them, or if you have a budget set of watercolor pencils at home and you don't care for the way that they use, they are really, really, really great for sketching. Two good things. One is going to break you out of the monotony of using graphite. You'll be surprised at what sketching with a colored lead will do to kind of excite your painting process. And two, unlike graphite, those lines are going to disappear, especially if you sketch lightly. Those lines are going to disappear in your paintings, and you're able to sketch with lines that kind of color coordinate to the area that you're drawing out. So there's another idea and another way to use watercolor pencils, and that's kind of what I had in mind when I put this set together, which is why you have primary color watercolor pencils in there. That way they'll kind of go across a range of different paint colors as far as sketching is concerned. So that's gonna be the first little grab bag. Now I was really hoping that we were gonna have, you know, quite a few people on live in order to do this, but it is what it is. You know, I love those who are here. So we are gonna be giving this little grab bag away shortly. Ah, you thought I was gonna do that thing. Shortly. All right. Let's take a look at another watercolor set that has come in. That is the Neat Pro. Neat Pro. Neat Pro watercolor paint set. It is 50 colors in this box. 50 colors, one piece brush pen, 20, okay, so 25 piece watercolor paper, okay, pad, one piece palette, a 8-piece brush set, a 2-piece sponge, one pencil, one eraser, one sharpener, and one carrying bag. All in this box. I got something I want to say that I cannot say on YouTube without being struck. Um, all in this box. That's what's up. That's a lot. I'm gonna be real interested to crack this open. It's made in China. I was kind of expecting that. There's a little color swatch in here. Um, yeah, interesting. There's a fluorescent yellow in this set, so it's got some florals in here. Okay, so we'll be giving that a whirl, Earl. You know what I mean? This set you've seen here on the channel before. This is the Shinhan Professional. This is just a bigger. Now the original set that you saw tested and reviewed on the channel was the 18 color set. This is the 30 color set. So this will expand the palette that I have and give me some backups of colors, and that's tinging upon the 18 colors all being in here. It may be a completely different set as far as I know, but yeah, I can already tell you, I know I like the paints. This is one of the better set of student grade paints on the market, in my opinion. And when you can find them at the right price, I would always tell people, I don't think it'll be a bad buy to purchase them. You know, but each their own. Some people don't like them, and I understand that. We have the right, right? Okay. This should be drying up. I wanted it to be dry enough to kind of get to tackling the tree, but it's not yet. because I don't want the tree to feather. We're going to be painting wet on dry for the process of the tree. That way we can go ahead and get intense color without a shift and without having to worry about painting a second or third layer. All right, let's see. Comment sections. You're so right. You're so right about sketching with watercolor pencils. Yes, they are absolutely so cool to sketch with. Now, if you haven't done it, I definitely suggest give it a try. Give it a try. That is a lot. You always find great products. You know, and it's so funny because Amazon, I don't know, Amazon hides things. Their algorithm is really interesting. Now, I have lists that I make, and those lists are taken from, and then those things are kind of like donated to the studio, which I'm always very forthcoming about that. Um, why wouldn't I be number one and number two? I think I should be because the recognition for the fact that these products come into the studio should be given and not taken. So that's just kind of how I feel about that. So I always tell you that a lot of these things are sponsored products. Some of them were my pick, so to speak, and some of them were picks that were sent in by sponsors, and some of them are gems. Like I'm really interested in that Shapiro Farkas. I'm gonna be very honest. Um, Even if the paints do mix, depending on which one you're playing with at what particular time you're playing with it, it may have a little, I don't know, kind of a little bit of glutiness to it that you have to mix out on the palette. But it's not like those paints that I tested and reviewed from Timu, where you could tell that the entire half pan was more than likely cosmetic pigments mixed with a bunch of fillers and just enough binder to call it a watercolor. You know, these are not like that. I'm really, I think it's too early for me to say, but you know, I definitely feel good about moving forward with them and painting. Oh, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. It's almost there. What else did I want to show you guys? Okay, so don't freak out. Let me show you. So I told you Sunday's video. We're going to be announcing what time is it? It's 9. Okay, I've been on an hour. I'm trying to watch my time. Um, hey, Goldie, what's going on? Welcome in. Okay, so this Sunday coming up, I'm still working on this. Why am I showing these? I don't know. I'm still working on it, but this Sunday coming up, we're going to have, for the first time in too long, a sketchbook journaling video coming out. And I always say sketchbook journaling video because this, depending on what base you use, it could be a watercolor sketchbook, it could be an acrylic sketchbook, oil painting sketchbook, mixed media sketchbook, drawing, junk journal, and you know that's kind of how that's the line I think along every time I design a book video, regardless of which one I happen to be making. I feel like they're interchangeable. So this Sunday, we are going to be looking at designing this wraparound type of watercolor sketchbook. This is a 8.5 by 8.5 sketchbook, and I'm going to show you just in case you want to follow along when that video comes out. I'm thinking about listing it as a premiere so that the chat will be live. Although I've noticed YouTube kind of lists those as live videos, but whenever the video says premiere, guys, the video is actually pre-recorded. The only thing that's live is the chat, and it's only live during the time that the pre-recorded video is playing. So, like, if you're not there at the time that the video premieres, you're not going to actually catch the live chat. But of course, you watch the video after the premiere, you can still leave a comment in the comment section, which I always welcome. I always welcome. So This is made from, do I have another one? I do. Okay, let's talk. And I'm going to go over all of this in the actual video, but I'm just kind of giving you guys a glimpse. So, let's talk paper pads, right? What watercolor artist, especially if you've been painting for years, doesn't have a million of these things laying around that we may have moved on from, excuse me, because we found better paper that we like. But with that being said, these weren't bad papers. Now, these are just examples. These happen to be some of the papers I actually use when I'm doing single paintings. Artwell 100% cotton watercolor paper is actually one of my go-to papers on a very regular basis for a lot of things. Um, if you've been following any of my journaling videos or my sketchbook videos, which if you want to check it out, you can hit up the DIY playlist where all those videos are. I'll try to remember to link it in case you want to go check out some sketchbook creation videos and learn how to make a different style sketchbook here or there. But you could use a paper pad like this, and in this case, it would be a mixed media sketchbook. In this case, it would be a watercolor sketchbook. If you had an acrylic paper pad, it would be an acrylic sketchbook. If you had an oil paper pad, it would be an oil sketchbook, and on and so forth. You get the point. So basically, you would be using this as the base, and it's super easy to do because it's basically an um, what do you call it? I can't think of the word, but it's a upgrade to your sketching pad. This particular one is made from Sioux color, and I knew that it wasn't a paper that I would use if I didn't have inspiration to use it. So I actually cut that paper pad down to construct this, and this is based on an idea from a completely different type of project by the Posh Paper Lady. If you are a crafter, I don't know if you've seen any of her videos, but she is an absolute genius with paper. It is amazing. The idea. The Posh Paper Lady and Natasha from Treasure Books have both always been very big inspirations. Um, and this book is, she designed a composition book, or redid a composition book, which was turned into a writing pad. And I thought to myself, well, then why can't that be done with a watercolor pre-bound pad? So I'm turning one into it. And this video will be coming out Sunday. I still got quite a bit to do to it, which is why I'm really not, I'm kind of okay with showing it to you because it's nowhere near finished. But it will be, of course, by the time Sunday's video premieres. So again, the video will be pre-recorded, but the chat will be live. So you can look for that to be coming up on Sunday. Okay, I think this is this is cool. Let's check the comment section, and then I'm gonna jump back into painting. We are almost done. Okay. Good evening, Ken and the Thrifty family. Hello, lovelies. Lovelies by Farm. Is that Farm? Farm? Hello. It is so wonderful to have you here. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jilly Billy. Jilly Billy, do I know? I need to go check Jilly Billy out. I don't even know if you've mentioned that to me before. I've been curious lately. Does mixed media paper have sizing? I do. I think it does. I do believe mixed media paper have sizing because they do not all feel the same. Some mixed media papers are actually so thick that they have a texture to them. For instance, this one is not as smooth as some of the although this one, I was about to say some of the more economical paper, but let me see if I have a pad that I can if I can put my hands on one. I've made sketchbooks out of most of my out of most of my pads. Um, Oh, where is that Soho mix? Okay, this one. So this is the Urban Artist. You probably won't be able to see it, but there is a slight difference in the surface feel of the paper. But I've never actually looked up the formulation of mixed media paper like I have watercolor paper. And that is that, you know what? That's an interesting question, and that's a video. That's a paper video where we kind of go into talking about things, sizing being a big one because sizing plays a huge part or can play a huge part in the quality of the paper as well as the outcome of your painting. So that is actually a really good video idea um, that I need to try to work out for the future. So let me grab the um, the paint set, and we're going to grab our little testing pad again. Which again, there's another one. There's another paper that's actually really surprising. I would love to make a sketchbook out of this. Actually, that's probably what's gonna happen. I'm gonna remove the pages from the block and do a what is it? A Celtic stitch type sketchbook so that all the papers can lay evenly and I can keep them all without cutting any of them. Might give it a deco edge or something. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I also have another sketchbook in the work, one that's kind of like faux leather. I think you guys are going to enjoy this sketchbook video as well. Although I haven't decided whether I'm going to make it a watercolor sketchbook, a mixed media sketchbook, if I'm actually going to make it a junk journal. Again, you can put whatever type of papers you want in it to make it whatever you want to make it. Let's get a brown mixed here so we can start getting this tree painted. I'm doing good. I normally try to keep these lives to 2 hours, and we're doing good. So we're definitely going to use some of the what umber, this color here. I'm gonna put, oh, so rich and pretty. That's crazy. It's almost what you want your burnt siennas to look like. It's a good mimic of PBR 7. No doubt about it. It is a good mimic of it. Now let's see what the actual burnt umber looks like. If that's what umber looks like. Now see, that's surprising. There's my first surprise. Maybe it wasn't activated. Let me see. Yeah. See, that gives me more Van Dyke brown than burnt umber. That's okay. I'm just mixing out some browns here. We're going to see what we're going to end up doing with this tree. Now, this looks like a Indian red or like a, not an Indian red. It's too bricky for Indian red. What am I thinking of? Venetian? Oh, that's pretty. Okay, these are going to make excellent practice paints. I said it. They're going to make excellent practice paints. I wouldn't paint any commission original painting that I was going to sell with them, but I am getting ready to introduce the sale of prints, and since prints are reproductions, it won't matter. I can use these. That was this color. Okay, it definitely gives me, yeah, pre-wet them, pre-wet them, pre-wet them. You pre-wet them, you're going to get a lot of color payoff. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Oh, that's a beautiful fall color. I love that color. I do. Okay. Um, this is burnt sienna. Need to just drop some water on that one. Drop some water on brown, which looks black. And what about yellow ochre? We have a light yellow ochre, whatever that means. Okay, I'm trying to see if I see any debris on the paint cake. Okay, now the yellow ochre is what I was expecting for budget yellow ochre. I mean, it resembles it definitely. It's a little thick. The earth tones are a little thicker. They paint out beautifully though. I mean, it is what it is. It's a budget set now. You better not get these expecting um Daniel Smith quality. I dare you. You better not do that. But for what they are, I think their quality is really good. It's much better than most other student grade budget sets I've tried in a long time. Now I'm putting these are scaring me. Um, Now of course you know my list currently consists of Meline Pretty Excellent, Artwell 24 half pans, and Paul Rubens Chow May. Those are my three recommended student grade brands currently holding tight. That's an interesting brown. It look like it'll make a beautiful cool gray color. What is that called? Oh, brown. Yeah. Okay, let's get this tree done. I'm gonna start off with some. That Barciana is really pretty. I just dropped water on that paper. I hope I don't have a. I need to hold this up so I can see my tree is disappearing on me. Um, what am I going in? Not the brown. The, what was this? Oh, this is the burnt sienna. I don't even know if I tried that one. Yeah, I did. Didn't care for it. That was the brown. See, this is why I'm working from. This brush is continuing to feed water, although it has a push stop. I'm gonna switch and grab me a. What do I want? I want something that ain't gonna give me too much trouble here. Let's go with this number 4 round Princeton Aqua. Um, all right, let's see if we can find this tree. I think that's it right there. If not, guess what, friend? There's the tree. And I'm just gonna go ahead and bring that across, spread it in, bring that down here. We're gonna be painting grasses up. So don't worry too much about that section right now. And I'm just getting it based in. I'm not really worried about streaking this, whether or not you can see the water through it or anything like that. I'm just getting it based in. Adding water to that just to spread that first initial one out just a little more. Mm, trying to see how this all goes. We got like so, and then this actually goes up and comes down like so. Get that painted in. Now I would normally do a super wet type of wash and then use a credit card scraper, but I'm actually not going to do that this time. We're going to do the detailing with the actual brush and still try to keep it as quick as possible. All right. Okay. Think I'm okay with that? Think I am. Mm, uh, that keychain keep hitting the end of that light post. I move my hand. Hopefully it'll stop. Okay, it just became a bump on a log. Okay, now I need to see if I can blend out this ultramarine just a little bit. Weaken it up in that tree, like so. And now let's get a wash. Ooh, a wash on it. And we're gonna start dropping some color into it. Alright, let's go with some of this brown. Let's see what it's giving. I don't know. I'm just experimenting now. Have some darkness here at the roots. We have some darkness kind of going to the branch areas here. The roots. Let's see. The sun over this way here. This way coming. Alright. I don't know. It's kind of cute. I think I need something a lot darker. Let's go with, I like this umber color. I'm gonna mix it directly into that. It's so red. It's such a burnt sienna color to me. And I'm gonna mix it with some ultramarine blue. Definitely like it so much better with um, mixing them out with this brush versus I need shadow up this side of the tree because the light is reflecting from the opposite side. Okay. Alright, my pretties. I'll blend that in just a moment. It'll, you can see some bubbles and some grit there. We'll be able to add more detail to this as it dries. Blend that out in a moment. We'll make that a bump on the tree. Since we can't do nothing else with it, right? Then we'll add a little shading with the back side, just a little bit, real thin. Right, I need to add the opposite. It look kind of one side. So let's see. Like this. Yeah, something like that. But let's keep it skinny. Skinny mini. Alright. Get that hanging in. And I need to get, oh, my hand is all in there with paint. Look at that. Where's my studio rag? Here we go. Alright. What was I doing? What was I doing? I was shadowing over here. Up under that log, we would have some coming into that crease. I. That needs to be blended out because it is too harsh. Let's use some of the original color to do it. Still stay within the color scheme so we don't have no issues. Alright, that's a little better. That other one does too. It's giving deformed tree branch. Okay, so I need a little bit more solidness right in this area. No, we were painting here. Okay, so once that dry, we'll definitely be able to darken that more. But not a bad first layer. Let's go ahead and start throwing some greens in. I'm gonna react, and the paint, that paint was completely dry, so there was definitely no flaking, and it didn't look gritty in its dry state. Not that one. It's just like once you mix it out, it's fine. But there may actually be some grit when you first start. I'm not gonna feel about that. Let's see. That's not strong enough to start making on grass. Which one was it, guys? It was. What green was I using? It had to have been this one. It was, okay. And ultramarine, which I will definitely be refilling quickly because it is a very useful color for mixing. Very useful color for mixing. It's gonna be real interesting and cute. I'm just putting a few grasses in, not a lot. Go back and put some darker ones in beside those. Just right around the tree and then over in this corner. I'm not gonna try to do the whole thing. There's some indications. And when I get to my darker saturation, I will definitely put thinner, taller lines over those. Let's see here. I want to. This brush actually holds quite a bit of water. Hold on. I need. I think those are synthetic sables, right? Princeton is a synthetic sable brush, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I need a golden Teflon brush. There we go. Okay, that's a darker green here by mixing ultramarine into it. And as you can see with that golden Teflon brush, I grabbed much less water and was able to get a darker, more substantial mix. Now I need to keep my lines light and flowy. Light and flowy. I'm just putting a few in where the other ones are, mixing them in. I'll do some on this side. Grab a little bit more of that mixture. I'm barely touching the paper with a brush, and I'm bouncing and wiggling, just giving some grass indications. Too much in there. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna put some more color in the water, and then we will be moving on to finishing up the tree shortly. I'm going to go even darker with some of the shadowing in my grass. I'm actually going to mix in, which one is burnt sienna? This one. First. It's too much. Just gonna turn it. I don't want it to turn olive. I just want it to darken up. So I'm gonna just add a little bit at a time. Feel like I have the color I want. Okay, hopefully that'll do it. Put some shadows under our grass mounds. And inside a little grassy hill area. Shadows. Let's see, putting shadows under those little grass patches like that will make them stand out a little more. Add a little more contrast to your picture. Drag up some of them darker grasses, make them taller if you want to, out of the same bunches. I mean, it is around the water, so it's okay to have some taller strand grass. You may even have some that have some reeds on it, cattail or something like that. Okay, let's add. I'm just playing with these. I'm just playing. I don't have to do all of this. I mean, it was enough grass a long time ago. I'm really just playing. I like the with the paints. I'm playing with paints. I'm gonna just go in with ultramarine here and real thin in the back, real thin. Just kind of don't want a lot of movement actually. A little bit thicker at the front, a little bit, just because it came towards you. I don't want too much in there at all. I think this is really airy and kind of nice, right? What you think? Not too bad so far. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's give it a little time to be good with itself. I don't know. I kind of want to put. I like that dust pink, guys. I like the dust pink. I like the dust pink. Let's grab a little bit of the dust pink, and why not? Why not? We're gonna be a little crazy. We're gonna grab some of the dust pink, and we are gonna make a few little thin waves in the back. That color. Oh, oh, look at there, look at that. That's beautiful. Let's kind of let it glide down. What's up feel on this end, you know, kind of nick it over there. Okay, that's cute. I like that. Sorry if the camera was out of focus. Okay, so the tree is almost dry. As soon as the tree is dry, yeah, we're gonna be able to wrap this on up. Love the different variation of greens. I was like, you know what? I wonder. It's not too late because see that original green, that yellow green we use, you know, it's got that yellow tone, that yellow undertone is definitely that initial yellow, that third yellow, that one in the middle. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab a little of that and mix that on the palette. I'm gonna rinse my brush. I'm gonna dry my brush completely, make sure there's no water in it at all. Okay? And then I'm gonna pick some of that color up and I'm gonna just dry brush it in just here and there for a few bright areas. Right? Add a little color, a few bright areas. I think that's cute. It's cute. Right in those patches where the color was the lightest, kind of break it up, kind of break up some of that green. I should have zoomed in a little more. See there? Just kind of break up some of that green. All right, let's check comments. And by that time, we should be dry enough to finish everything off. I'm going to take a swig. Now, ooh, looks like I done missed a whole conversation. I'm so glad y'all talking. I love it. 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 What have I missed? Um, I think we were talking about Stephanie and Goldie came in the group. Okay, so Google says yes, it has sizing. So mixed media paper does have sizing. Amazing. Thank you for that, Steph. I didn't. No, you didn't miss me, Jana. Hello, welcome. I'm so glad you joined. Hugs, my art. I love my art friends. That's supportive. Grumbacher forever. Tisa is a rebel. She's a rebel. Um, I really appreciate all the info again. She asked, oh, thanks, Penny. I appreciate that. How was everything in chat? Uh-huh. The last two lives, well, you know, they are scheduled for Monday nights at oh, why am I saying Monday nights? I'm thinking, well, Monday nights is Patreon. YouTube lives are scheduled Monday mornings at 11 a.m. That's when I'm normally on live. But this one was a surprise live because I missed this past Monday and I really, really wanted to, you know, make up for that. So here we are. We've done quite a few things. We're gonna get to the grab bag in just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. It's gonna be real easy to win. It's just something real cute to get you started sketching with your little watercolor paint. You know what I'm saying? It help you do you. That's what it do. It help you do you. Who's sick? Somebody sick? Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry. We are sending healing vibes and positive energy your way. Oh, Goldie, really? Quail, I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. And I mean, not that mine would even compare, but my allergies have really bitten. I had a little episode earlier doing a live. It was so embarrassing to tell you the God honest truth. And I'm definitely gonna have to edit that out once this live has rendered and allows me to edit, so that the replay crew won't have to deal with it. So, uh, just chicken. No, these are not artsy paints. These are Shapiro Farben. I'll show you guys the front of the cover before we pop out. Let me see, where the box? This is Shapiro Farben Watercolors Premium. Premium watercolors. I cracked them open in tonight's live. So if you want to see that, once the live ends, you can always go back and catch the beginning part of whatever you missed. And you can see cracking open these, looking at the introduction to the palette, initial thoughts before I actually got into testing. And the truth of the matter is, I jumped right into it. I have not swatched these paints. What you see here is as much swatching as I've done. I thought it would be fun to really just go for the gusto and show you guys how, um, you know, I'll just pick up a set of paints and start painting. Um, Once you get used to painting, and I say this all the time, if you're a beginner, it may be a little hard. Don't you worry. Don't give up. You keep painting. It is a skill you'll develop. But those people who have been painting long enough, and have become familiar enough with color mixing, can pretty much pick up a palette and not have names or numbers, and be able to still pour off a pretty decent composition. And it's something that comes along with practice. And it is something that every artist, as long as you put in the practice, can develop. Now, here's something that I'm going to say that I've never really said before. It's an opinion. Let me say that it's an opinion. It's not a fact. And if you disagree with that opinion, I'm okay with that, and I welcome you to disagree openly. It is perfectly fine. But I do not believe. Okay, I do believe that you could be born with amazing talent. I do believe that. But I do believe also that for the most part, it's learned. This watercolor is learned. Drawing is learned. It's a sense of a certain air of education to the whole process, whether it's formal education or not. There's this whole educational growth process that comes along with it, and because of that, because of the practice you put in, you become better and better. Even if when you started, you had no idea how to draw, how to paint, or no idea what you were doing. Ink tints is what I'm referring to. Ink tints. I have all this in it. Speaking of ink tints, you know what? So I don't really want to blow it. Here is a video coming up in August. There's going to be a video coming out in August where I'm going to be making this really huge Derwent palette that's going to include all of the pan paints. It's gonna the ink tint pan paints, the pastel pan paints, the graphitin pan paints, um, and I want to make that in combination for it being a studio palette, because in Inktober there are going to be some things that we venture into that I already want to go ahead and get you guys hyped up and excited about. So we'll be touching on that all a little bit more in the month. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's looking good so far. Yeah, this is the stage. You are so right, love. This is the stage where it all starts to come together, where you start to put it all together. I think every stage goes, every painting, every creation goes through a ugly stage, as I've heard Lindsay call it. You know, every painting goes through that stage where it's like, but you just gotta kind of keep pushing through, and it all boils back to a thing you guys hear me say all the time, which is what? Trust the process. You gotta trust the process. You gotta trust the process. There is a positive way of looking at it. Exactly. Healthy vibes and energy, manifesting nothing but positive, healing things. And artsy fun along the way. Don't forget to do that because it can make you feel better when you're feeling down. I'm gonna tell you guys, I was not in the very best mood before I got on this live, but that is so not the case now. And I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see if we can put in a little. We need to get in some shadow and some different on a tree. I'm just kind of brushing in a wood texture. Some streaks going up it. Might be indication of bark. So it's gonna be kind of loose. Let's see. Start with this one. I'll put some little texture on it, on the bottom of it. I'm just gonna do some stippling. I'm tapping to create texture towards the bottom of that branch. Pull it on out. Make those little jet outs a little darker so they stand out. Okay. Clean up the edge where I did the stippling it. And then I really want a much darker, richer. I want a black almost. Let's try that. Oh, they mix so well. Okay, I like that. It mixed so well. Alright, let's do another branch. I'm gonna grab the sort of darker brown mix I had. And we are going to stipple along the bottom of the branch, kind of bring it down the side of the tree a little bit. And that stippling got a little bit darker than I intended for it to, so I'm going to clean my brush, take off some of the water, and then use the rest of that paint to finish up the job. And this is a way to add just enough detail to your tree. Just enough. I'm going to brush that out so it blends in. And then, where is the little darker color that I made? Right here in this corner. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to go up the very bottom, curve it all around, maybe put a little, don't have enough anything on that brush to do anything with. I'm just putting little marks on the branch. Alright, let's do the next branch. Don't need that to be too thick. On the bottom. just gonna drag that out. And then go in with a damp brush and kind of blend it. That didn't necessarily go down the way I wanted it to, but it gave me an idea of being able to add some texture in around the end of the branch. Start putting some texture in. It's like I don't have enough paint on my brush. I don't know what I'm doing. Huh. There we go. There we go. Very loose, but effective. Very loose but effective. Very loose but effective, right? Alright. Let me, I put that right there. I'm gonna get it 2 seconds to dry, and then I'm gonna put some more grasses around the base of that tree to blend it in a little bit more. I'm gonna put some birds in the sky, and then I'm gonna call it done. I think it was a cute, quick little painting. Nothing too hard or severe. I didn't want to do it to you. Thinking about maybe later on I'll put some leaves on that tree. What do you think? Think I should? Like later on, probably not doing the live, but like later on, put some leaves on the tree. I think that'll be cool. I'm going straight from the pan now. I'm actually using. Put just a little water on the tip of my brush. And then straight from the pan. Alright. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. It's enough on it. It's enough on it. Okay, let's get back into the comment section real quick. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to show you for this. Some people find painting easier than drawing, and vice versa. I like both. I'll be honest, I didn't at first. I drew because I had to, but I didn't like it at all. It's definitely become something I've grown to love now. But it took me a minute to warm up to it and really like it the way I needed to become more successful in any of the other art that I was doing. Take a positive approach, and if you find yourself getting upset, take a break and don't be hard on yourself. Absolutely. I love it that you are. And not holding an electronic device. Absolutely. All right. Okay. So, have your guys been painting? Have you? Have you been doing some type of art creation as we've been doing this? Are you just as surprised about these paints as I am? Seriously, friend, that's crazy. Were you expecting that? Were you expecting that when I opened those paints? Well, View probably was because she's used them evidently. And she knew what I was getting myself into. She was probably sitting back grinning going, I think he's going to like them. And View, you know what? I have to agree with you. I think I like them. That's not a final say so. That's not a star rating yet. Not yet. We'll get there. I want to do many more paintings with them. I want to do a much more serious painting with them. This was just fun, and just something for us all to kind of paint together that would fit within the time limit of an actual live. You have to keep in mind that whenever you're doing a live, you really do have to think about the time and audience retention. And YouTube didn't really like long videos, so I could play with that foreground all day. Let me stop before it's just too much there. I really, really could. All right, I think I want to put. I need a really dark color. I'm gonna put some. I need some shadow, some true shadow in here, and I'm just not getting it. I'm gonna put that down. I need a nice, good brush to mix with here, and I am going to dig real well into this ultramarine. Okay. Little grainy. They are. Good paints. Can't win it all. You can't expect them to be 100% all across the board. Um, they're advertising themselves as premium paints, not professional paints. So let's be realistic, right? At least they're classifying themselves the right way and not calling themselves something that they're not. I have much respect for that. Why can't I seem to get a strong? There we go. Okay. These are nice for what they are. Considering the fact that I don't have any info on them, I'm still willing to use them. Couple of dark grasses in here if I can get the paint before. There we go. Just a few in there. It's gonna help. Gonna help break everything up and add a little bit more realism to the grasses. Because they are a little green right now. They are a little bit on the green side. Let's put a little shadow up in there with it. A little shadow. It's nothing like a nice dark shadow. Make all these little grasses down around the front of the tree. I'm gonna put those in shadow because there really wouldn't be any light hitting them. And that's gonna work just fine. See, worked out, no problem. Looks real nice. And then let's add some detail with that darker tone to the side of the tree that's actually getting shadow. Okay. Get up in here. Alright. A little bit up here. Those areas where the tree been. And we'll get some separation in our little branches. This side. Really kind of emphasizing the fact that they come down on an angle, sort of like arms. And then a little help with a few markings here and there. Alright. I'm gonna throw a few birds in the sky. Ha ha ha. Shut up. So this one kind of bigger and closer to us. And we'll do a V. If I can get it right. And then we'll do a smaller V under it to give it a little girth, make it a little different. Feathers or something. Uh-oh. That boy getting bad with the birds. Put one in the distance in between the trees. So we're gonna make a smaller V. And that'll suffice for that. Alright. And we need at least 3, right? Here. Here's another little one off in the distance. Then there's another little one off in the distance over there. There's 4. Put one more, we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna make him literally fold in the page. Like that. Why not? And I add a V to him to make him look like he's the closest one. Cause he's thick. Thick daddy is close. Alright, friends. That ain't bad. I think it turned out pretty cool. What y'all think? Here, I'm gonna hold it up. It's kind of cute. I think it was a quick little project that anybody could paint at home. And it's a great representation of what I find to be serene. This is where this would be a place of serenity for me. Right? So, do not hesitate to jump in the comment section and let me know what you think. Now, I really want to try to put my little black border around this, but I don't think that's going to work out too well. So, I'm just going to pull the tape off. And this is one of the little sketchbooks that came in, what was it, was it week 3 or week 4? I don't know. All of them have been, they're being processed. We're waiting on one shipment to get them all out at once. I'm still waiting on Annette Farrow to claim her prize package from week 1. I'm still waiting on, oh well, no, week 2 has already been claimed, and week 3 claimed their prize package. So week 2 and 3 prize packages have been claimed. Week 2 is processed and ready to go. Week 3 is being processed tomorrow, so it'll be ready to go tomorrow. I am still waiting on week 1 to respond. If week 1 still has not responded by the time this Sunday's video come out, then week 2 and week 3 will go ahead and ship at the beginning of the week. And week 4 will ship shortly after the announcement of the winner. And if week 1 isn't claimed in time, then it's probably going to end up in a grab bag giveaway. Imagine that. But with this said, Miss Annette Farrow, what is it, 283535? What is it? Annette Farrow's 2825, is that it? Yeah, Annette Farrow's 2825. I'm still awaiting your email at thethriftyapprentice@gmail.com to claim your week 1 thrifty giveaway prize. So sis, might want to reach on out. I'm trying to find a pen that's a decent size. Here, I'll use this one. I don't care that it's large. And I'll just sign like that. Alright. That's that, my friends. that's actually an unboxing and a preliminary painting demo done. So honestly, the next time you guys see these paints, it'll be a review on them. Because I'm going to do some more painting in the background with them. I'm going to get them all swatched out on the included swatch sheet. I'm going to get them swatched out in my swatch book. I'm going to do color mixing tests, salt testing, and lifting. We're going to do some layering. Um, Definitely some flow test because I did seem to have some flow going on with some of the colors. Yep. I have not noticed any granulation in anything, and not even the ultramarine blue. So that might be something to take a little note to. But overall, it's a real cute, sweet little painting. All right, let's check the comment sections, and then I'm gonna show you the last thing I wanted to show you from things that came into the studio. I enjoyed tonight's painting session. That was cute. I might start painting these size paintings moving forward when it comes to live. That way I know I can get it done. And instead of doing just one little page, I made sure I did like a full spread. That way it would be big enough for me to feel good about. um, but it's really whimsical and cute, kind of straightforward, you know. Serenity. Would be a place of serenity for me. Now I really wish I had just used this as the World Watercolor Month prompt. Which stay tuned because we do have the World Watercolor Month flip through coming up Monday at 11 a.m. live. We will be doing a flip through of all 31 of the paintings I painted during World Watercolor Month, as well as having a review of the Soho Urban Artist watercolor paper pad that the entire month was painted in. So stay tuned, my friends, for that. All right, wrapping up with showing you the last product that has come in so far, and then we're getting to that giveaway. This is the Paul Rubens Yulane 24 hand pan watercolors. This is the newest generation series of Paul Rubens watercolors. If you know anything about me, you know I am a huge Paul Rubens fan. I am a huge advocate for their products. They make some of the best quality, budget friendly, professional leaning, because even their student grade products are super good. Their professional grade products are super clean, super transparent, super layerable. They all have different characteristics. Some are going to have granulation. They layer really well. They will lift back depending on whether or not the pigment is staining. They do use pretty decent and reliable pigments. A lot of them do end up being single pigment colors. So just in my opinion, overall, over the last 2 years that I've been using the brand, it has been a pretty reliable brand. I've only used one product of theirs that I did not care too much for, and that was the opaque watercolor set. I think it was supposed to be, well, I don't know if it was supposed to be a hybrid like a gouache, especially when they had that guac set. And the guac set, I feel, is so much better than the opaque watercolor set. But that's just my own personal opinion. Anyway, I have tried their original series of paints. I've tried their, oh, all types. Um, the Chome, the opaque watercolors, the guac eye. Um, I got several other palettes. I have this palette. This is their candy colored watercolors. It's an opaque sort of pastel pearlescent set that's only available on the Asian market. I happen to have gotten this through an independent seller, but they I did a few paintings with them. There's actually a review for these up in the Thrifty Review playlist if you want to go check it out. But I've not had any issues, honestly, with their watercolors other than the Paul Rubens opaque watercolors. And this is just a palette I happen to put them in because they come in tubes. Now, the colors are actually really nice and vibrant, and they almost dry down with a matte feel like you would expect from a gouache, which is why I feel like they're a hybrid. They do have some granulation to some of them, and they gave me pretty decent performance. The thing that I was the least excited about is the fact that they crack, you know, and they will fall out. And in that way, again, they really remind me of a gouache more than a watercolor. So not a bad product. I'm just saying it just happens to be my least favorite of Paul Rubin products, but still not a bad product. So that's going to be coming up on the channel as well. You can look for us looking at the 5th generation artist level solid watercolor pigment. All right, my friends, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Here we have the little giveaway grab bag tonight. As I told you earlier, I'm going to start doing this periodically. It won't be every live. Everything is not going to be like, uh, some stuff will be student grade, some stuff won't be student grade. I'm just going to kind of throw a bunch of stuff together. I mean, if you want to participate, participate. If you don't want to participate, there are absolutely no hard feelings. It is, and if maybe you'll participate the next week. So this little grab bag giveaway is this cute little canvas pencil bag. As I said earlier, it's got like vinyl there, plastic is included, or 3 portable travel size water brushes, which have a medium, fine, and small head. There is a kneadable eraser, which is the green colored one. There is a full pan of Karen Dosh lemon yellow gouache. And then there are some pencils in here. There is a H graphite drawing pencil, and then there are 6 watercolor pencils, a red, yellow, and blue, so that you'll have a primary, a orange, a green, and then a white as well. Um, as I said, if you don't know, let me hook you onto it. Watercolor pencils are excellent for drawing your underpainting under your watercolor creation. They will dissolve away, unlike graphite, and will not leave a harsh line. So definitely something you could consider. That's all inside this little grab bag giveaway. All right. So in the comments section, if you're live, and yes, unfortunately, grab bags only count for people who are on the live, because we give them away on the live. All right. And then if you don't want to participate and nobody participates, then I'll save the grab bag for another live, and we'll see if somebody participates then. Here we go. All you need to do is just, I lost my thought. That is crazy. What is the name of the watercolor set that we were using in today's demo? Go. First one I see. First one I see on my end. I'm gonna check the comments while we're going down again. First one I see. There we go. Shapiro Farley. Jana, it's all yours. Great. Again, listen. I use these watercolor pencils to sketch my underpaintings. Your art teacher, if I'm not mistaken. So this is probably nothing that's new to you at all. You've probably used watercolor pencils under your paintings many times. Many times. All right. So, Miss Jana, hit me up at thethriftyapprentice@gmail.com. Let me know who you are. Get some verification going, and I'll get those out to you. Guys, there'll be many other grab bags coming up. You never know what's going to be in the grab bag. Listen, it may be something professional. It may not. I mean, that little grab bag got a lemon yellow Caran d'Ache gouache half pen in it, and that's actually going to be pretty useful somewhere. Those pencils will be. So cool beans, cool beans. Next grab bag will be a surprise, because that's how that goes. All right, friends. Hopefully, you all have enjoyed hanging out for this live. We've covered quite a bit. I am going to go ahead and bid you all a good night. Thank you so very, very much. Hopefully, you painted along. If you did paint along, even if you didn't paint what I painted, but just painted along, jump on over. If you're a part of the Thrifty Apprentice Facebook group, throw it in there and tag me in it. Let me know it was tonight's painting. And if you're not a part of the Thrifty Apprentice Facebook group, shame on you. Go join. But you can also, if you follow me on Instagram, drop it on Instagram and tag me. Well, even if you're not following me on Instagram, you can drop it on Instagram and tag Defying Arts, the Thrifty Apprentice. All right, there you have it. Let me check final comments. Love the painting. Thank you, Penny. We'll see it on Patreon or here or YouTube. Wait a minute. What? See what on Patreon or here or YouTube? The grass around the tree is close to perfect. It's just the right amount. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Thought it was a little heavy, but so I'm glad that I didn't get too heavy-handed with it. Um, it's supposed to be artist grade, but what I read on one. Oh yeah, the Paul Rubens, those are artist grade. That is the fifth generation of their art. I've been using their artist grade watercolors for quite some time. Most people are familiar with their first generation, or is it the first, or was it their second generation? It might have been the first. I think their first generation was only tubes, and then this one was released. Hold on, let me clean the box off because it's been sitting up and it's got dust on it, and I don't want y'all to think I'm dirty. So hold on. So this was the one. This is the one that most people are familiar with. This is a excellent professional set of affordable watercolors. Absolutely beautiful paints, and I do definitely recommend them. They are on my recommendation list when it comes to top five um, professional grade watercolors that I would recommend if somebody asks me right off the top of my head. These are definitely on the list. So this set is the advancement. I think this was the second generation, like I said. So this is the fifth generation. So there's been two other generations in between here on the professional side that I didn't try simply because I liked the second generation so much. But now I've been blessed enough to receive the fifth generation here in the studio, and I am super, super, super excited about cracking those open and giving them a try. Yes, I am. Thank you for the compliments. Prop up lunch here under the shade tree and get your paint on right, for real. And I love painting by the water. I can't even tell you. Uh, let's see. Pen gotta love autocorrect. Yeah, they don't really like the ill for the same reason. If they crack, they can. Yeah, cracking and mixing with other colors is not cute. That's why I don't like their opaque watercolors. They just maybe what I'll do is I'll pull those out and make sprays with them, watercolor dyes for my journals, especially for the junk journals that I dye with watercolor. So those will probably work pretty well for that. And then I have an entire tube set outside of that because that palette was made up from the tube set. So I have plenty of that opaque watercolor that I can make like sprays for cards and journals and sketchbooks and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, the gouache. Yeah, the gouache is Karen Dodge gouache is pretty cool. I really enjoyed it when I did the mixing set in the tube. Now I've never used the ones that are already dried down in the pan. I've heard they're supposed to be absolutely awesome. But as I was putting the grab bag together, I thought a little. I'm gonna be honest. I thought a little bit about parting with that. But when I was looking at the things that I just kind of closed my eyes and grabbed, I felt like, okay, well, let me throw a little bit more of a quality product in here. So at least the nylon bag, the kneaded eraser, and the gouache would definitely be something that any artist could use. Does my bracelet mean anything? Yes. My bracelet is a banded coalition, a band of African countries that touch on different parts of my heritage throughout my gene pool. And the bracelet is non-removable. It's actually created on. Thanks for having me. Thank you for coming and supporting. I really enjoyed you being here. Thanks for Night, Amy. It's the first with pants. They have 36-2 set as well. Who we talking about here? Paul Rubens or awesome. How creative. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, friends. Let me get off of here before I get yelled at. uh, I love you all for loving art the way that you love art. And I love you all for loving art enough to spend a little loving time with me. Remember that what we do here is we create art to spread love for the love of art. And we, as I tell you at the end of every single ado, just keep creating, my friends.